Welcome to another episode of Distilling the West podcast. I'm joined by my co-host Dave. How you doing over there, Dave?
I am doing fantastic, and I've got to say we have a special guest in the studio today. We have producer Dave's spouse in the studio as we
Miss
record
Katie.
this. Hi, Katie.
We love Katie.
Hello.
Katie may
Woohoo!
have brunched very hard today, so
Still here, still
yeah,
alive.
she's still here and alive, and,
And
you
you-
may hear in the background.
Well,
so
and you may recognize that voice. That may be our wonderful introduction and
is
outro. Miss Katie did that for us, and I absolutely love it. So today we're doing a tasting talk with Bainbridge Organic Distillers out of Bainbridge Island, right outside Puget Sound in Seattle, Washington. And we have the Hokkaido Mizunara Cask, and it is their wheat whiskey that they then finish in 100% Mizunara cask. They do their Yama whiskey in that. That's a single grain barley whiskey. And so they put their Battle Point wheat whiskey in that Mizunara cask. And we did a great interview with Bainbridge. I'm really sad you missed that
yeah, I was
one,
saying
Dave.
we didn't do a
Yes.
great interview. I was
So
somewhere.
that was one of my favorite interviews. We're gonna have to circle back with Keith and do another one. Yeah, I wanted to get into the topic before we dive into this whiskey here, just about how we've experienced a lot of really cool single grain whiskeys in the Western United States here. Of course, Kentucky gets a lot of the love for bourbon, and we've had some great bourbons and stuff like that. But it's really piqued my interest on some of the single grain whiskeys. This being a wheat whiskey that's finished in the Mizunara casks. But Triticale is one of those not as familiar grains, and that's a hybrid between wheat and rye. And honestly, a lot of the rye whiskeys we've tried out of the West are just great. They're really doing it for me, Dave. So I wanted to highlight those single grain whiskeys.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, you're not the only one. The TTB is recognizing American single malts as a category now, so that's been fantastic. And like you said, just the sheer variety of single malts we've tried over the last 3 years has been amazing. I know you've got another one on tap. We're actually going to try a quinoa grain whiskey.
Yeah.
And who was that by?
That's Alchemy out of Arcata. Yeah. They, I don't think I've seen that anywhere else before. And, Amy was saying that's a super hard grain to distill. There isn't a lot there, so not a lot of product came out of it. So it's a little pet project for them, but super cool. The quinoa was actually grown locally up in Humboldt County. And so bringing it back to today, we have an organic wheat whiskey, which is pretty cool in and of itself. And then going in those Mizunara casks, which is a Japanese oak that is very, the method that they select those trees is very Japanese, as you can imagine. They go through the nth degree to select just the right tree. And those casks, Keith was saying, are $9,000 a piece.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, I mean, that's just bonkers because, your standard American white oak cask, usually those are around $300-400 to the distiller. The French oak, that's coming up more around like $1,200, maybe $1,400. And those Mizunara casks are, $9,000. And so we get the benefit of that coming in on the whiskey today. So let's go in on the nose on this, Dave.
Yeah, I tried nosing it earlier. I'm not the best at this. It is definitely a little different than our standard whiskey. What is it that I'm picking up?
Yeah, I kind of get like a sandalwood up on the front end of this. There's some great spice, kind of sweet spice characteristic that's coming in. I do get a little bit of that doughiness from the wheat whiskey aspect of things.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm getting more than
Okay.
anything else is just that doughy weediness, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
And one thing I do love about Bainbridge's labels is that USDA certified organic. That's not something you see every day in a whiskey.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Man, okay, so I just went in on the taste and boom, it really opened up for me. it really explodes into a lot of vanilla. Mizunara is also known for coconut, which I do know is not your favorite, but I think the vanilla is so pronounced on this one. I think there's that vanillin aspect coming from the oak, and I'm guessing that the Mizunara must be high in lactones because usually that's the chemical that's coming out of the wood that is giving that coconut flavor on the whiskey. But I'm really enjoying the taste on this a little bit more than the nose, to be honest. But what I noticed, because I bought this bottle for myself, so I did have some of it beforehand, is that the nose then starts opening up after the taste. And I love coming back to this one. This is a nice slow pour that you really spend some time with. It opens up, and I absolutely love this one. I think Keith knocked it out of the park here. And I just want to keep coming back to this and sip it, nose it, sip it. And as it sits in the glass, what I've noticed is that vanilla coconut might kind of open up to like a toasted coconut. It's really a beautiful product. I'm very pleasantly surprised on this one.
Yeah, and I can say for me, wheated whiskeys aren't my favorite in the whole realm of whiskey. And as you said, I'm not a big coconut fan personally, so I appreciate the craft that went into this. There's a lot of flavor to it. There's a lot of nuance to it with the vanilla, with that strong coconut flavor from the barrel. And this is obviously a very good wheat whiskey. It's for me personally. You guys know I'm a rye person, so I like that spiciness that's not here. This is a very different animal. It is, again, I respect this for sure.
Yeah. And I think that's where you and I our palates differ a little bit. You're more on that spicy train. I absolutely love this. This is like a dessert in a glass to me. It's nice and leggy. It's thick. I want to keep coming back to it. Last night I was sipping on it, trying to, figure out some of the notes I was tasting. And as it sits there, it's really like kind of cream soda-y, that vanilla. Very, very luscious and rich on that vanilla aspect. So for me, knocking it out of the park. I do understand if, coconut is not your jam, maybe this might not be super up in, your wheelhouse, but this is doing it for me.
Yeah, and I'd like to point out, even though I said it's not 100% my favorite, it's not in, it doesn't fit my flavor profile, I'm still finishing the glass. So that just shows how good it is and how much craftsmanship there is in this. It is still a very, very high quality pour, and I appreciate that about it. So I will say cheers to that.
Yeah, definitely. And I do know that they are doing a barrel dump of the Yama, which is the original single grain barley whiskey that goes in those Mizunara casks. And then the secondary finish of this Hokkaido cask, they're going to be doing a barrel dump of both on Black Friday.
Oh, very
which is
cool.
coming up. I don't think this will be out by then, actually, now that I think about it. But they're definitely, take the ferry ride out to Bainbridge Island, go visit these folks, because Keith and his crew are just making exceptionally made craft spirits. I love this a lot.
Yeah, you can taste the love in this, and so I appreciate you bringing this over today. This is a fantastic, again, you can taste the craftsmanship. I appreciate that immensely. Again, I'm finishing the pour. It is very well made whiskey.
Yeah.
So we haven't done the rating system in a while.
This is yay across the board for me, sir.
And I'm torn. My personal palate, I'm going to give it a meh. But realistically, I can appreciate it. If you like wheat whiskey, 100%, this is a yay across the board.
Yeah, and so this is sitting at about $100 price point. You can get it on their website. Look up Bainbridge. They're doing fantastic work. So I'm excited about this one. I pulled it down. I'd go for another bottle. In fact, I followed up with they have a French oak finish I believe it's a bourbon. And so I ordered another one of those. So I'm super excited on Bainbridge. I really want to go up and visit Keith. He was definitely a kindred spirit. One of my favorite interviews for sure. So I'm going to give a big cheers to Keith, to Bainbridge Organic Distillers. And thanks, listeners, for joining us. If you have a favorite Western pour, please tag us at Distilling the West in that pour. We'd love to hear from you guys. And please give us a like and follow and check us out. Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Cheers, Dave.
Cheers.